Hello, in this tutorial we're going to look at annotating and inserting a figure within LT for assessment. On the screen in front you can see the LT window with the request to insert a figure below and annotate. The figure insertion and annotation box has three associated buttons: Choose Image, Annotate, or Start Over. Of course, to be able to annotate or start over, we first need to choose an image. So we're going to choose an image from the desktop of this computer. I've chosen a histology image. This is a confocal micrograph, and I'm going to annotate it. If I don't like this image, I can choose Change Image and select a different image from my hard drive. If I've done some work on this image and don't like it, I can click on Start Over. A message will come up and say, "Am I sure?" I'll say yes, and then I can start again. So I'm going to re-choose that image. Now the image is loaded. If I click on the Annotate button, the screen will enlarge and show me the image I have selected. Down the left-hand side of the screen, I can see my annotation tools. The positioning of these tools will be dependent upon the resolution of your monitor, but they will all appear down the left-hand side. As well as the annotation tools, there is an undo, a redo, and a trash can for deleting. So to start with my annotation, I have three ways of annotating. I can annotate with text, I can annotate freehand, or I can annotate with arrows. By clicking on any of these icons, selecting a color, and clicking on the image, I can insert annotations. If I want to move my annotation, I can click on the arrow tool, select the annotation, and move it around on the screen. The freehand tool allows you to draw lines in freehand. In other words, you can use this to circle or highlight areas of your screen. You can select different colors by clicking on the color selections even after you've drawn your image, as long as that image is selected. The arrow tool allows you to highlight various parts of your image by highlighting them with an arrow. So for this example, I'm going to highlight this yellow blob with a white arrow. And if I want to move it around, I can do so using the selection tool. If I've put that arrow in the wrong place and want to move it, I can click undo, and it'll move it back to where it was. And if I want to delete that arrow, I can click on the trash can and it'll delete it. You might notice that when you click on an annotation tool and carry out an annotation, the annotation tool selection immediately reverts back to the arrow selection tool. This can be a little bit frustrating if you want to annotate your figure with lots of arrows, for instance. You have to click back on the arrow tool and highlight another cell, click back on the arrow tool and highlight another. If you click on the arrow tool with the Control button or the Command button on an Apple, you'll see that the tool turns blue. This allows you to do multiple annotations using the same tool. The same works for the freehand tool. By clicking on it using the Control key or the Command key on an Apple, you can do multiple freehand annotations. So once you are happy with your annotations, and I'm happy with these annotations, you can click on the Done button. Now you'll see that your figure, complete with annotations, is in the image screen, and you can continue with your assessment. If at this point you're not happy and you wish to redo this, you can either change the image or you can start over.